your self-image is definitely something that's not easy to do. A lot of us find it hard to take a cold, hard look at ourselves and change anything we want to for the better. For me, that was everything in my life, be it achieving what I wanted to achieve, losing weight, changing the way I felt about myself, but for the most part, I had to love me. So this is about how I changed, not on the outside, but from the inside out. Hey y'all, it's your girl Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, and I'm coming at you today to talk about how to change your image, gain self-esteem, and gain self-confidence. It ain't no easy road getting there, especially if you're on different journeys like going natural or losing weight or starting college or starting high school. You know, a lot of problems with your self-image and your self-confidence and self-esteem happen very, very young. And even if you're older on your path, this applies to you as well. Hopefully you'll listen and hear some things that I have to say today that really impacted my growth, my self-esteem, and how I got to where I am right now, boo. The first thing I want to tell you to do is to take a cold, hard look at yourself. Most of us don't even like looking in the mirror. Look at every part of your life, not just the way you look on the outside. One day I woke up and I said, you know what? You need to lose some weight. Not because nobody else said I needed to lose weight. Yeah, I heard that all before. I had to do it at a time that I wanted to change. That took me realizing what about myself I did not like. It's an essential part in getting self-confidence, self-esteem, and changing your self-image. I used to be the type of person who wasn't lazy, so to speak, but I would know I had to do something and I would definitely wait until the last minute and not get it done and be mad at myself or be angry because I didn't apply for something or try something out. That applied to school, going after opportunities that I wanted. And once I saw that, I started to say, if you start to change the way you think and change the way you approach things and start to do the opposite of what is getting you bad results, then you'll move forward. So I changed those things by getting my butt up out of bed, doing what I knew was necessary in order for me to see growth and change. I had weight issues, low self-esteem, low self-worth, and I didn't really like myself too much. I depended on other people too much to validate who and what I was. I was waiting for everybody to say, oh, you're great, you're amazing, you work so hard. I wanted people to tell me I was good enough. And I had to admit that to myself in order to be able to move forward with changing who and what I had become. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be me today. So with looking at the things I didn't like about myself, I also had to take a good look at the things I did like about myself. Why? Because I wanted to improve and build on those things. I was a hard worker. I was the leader of most organizations. I could pass a test if I studied well for it. Musically inclined. I like to rap. I like to sing. I like to play piano. Well, on the N to the I to the N to the A, be putting it down, better keep it that way, what? I was good at a lot of things and I had to hone in on those things. And when you look at the things about yourself that you don't like, I can guarantee you can find at least 3 things about you that you do like. So even though you have to take that cold hard look at yourself, start to look at yourself in a light that also shows you the good, and you can figure out the things you can build on that are going to benefit you in the long run, that you're going to do even better with. When you feel in those things that might be lower than what you like, or you don't look a certain way, or you don't have a certain thing, you have a million other wonderful things about you that you need to take inventory of, build on, hone in, and appreciate about yourself. If you don't take time to recognize your talent and take advantage of that talent, believe me, boo, somebody else will. After that, I had to look at my short-term and long-term goals for myself. For instance, if you're in high school, I know high school for me was like the hardest time ever. I was weird. I was awkward. I wore FUBU. I mean, come on. I was a tomboy. I hadn't come into my own. I really didn't feel like I fit in. But if you're feeling that way, start to think of what you see yourself as. I started to think about what I wanted for my future, where I saw myself going, what kind of career I wanted, what I wanted to look like, how glamorous and exciting and awesome I was going to be. And not only that, I started to look at my own personality. I was bubbly, fun, fun, silly, and y'all, I could tell a joke, and I was a class clown. I was able to look at where all of that could take me in the long run. I was able to look at my future. I was able to be excited about it. Though my big changes didn't come until college, by that time I kind of knew my strengths and I knew my weaknesses and I knew what was good and what I didn't like, and I started to look forward to my future, and I started to think intensely about where I saw myself and where I wanted to be. In order to change your image, you gotta see yourself there. See yourself being successful, productive, amazing. Even though people be all up in your ear telling you what you can and cannot do, you're the person who knows your limits. And there are none, honestly. I surprised myself with my intellect, with my drive, with how hard I worked. Whether it was with losing my 100 pounds, whether it was with getting 3 degrees, I knew that I was going to do something worthwhile. And even if I couldn't picture exactly what that was, I knew that my plan was to be successful. I saw myself being the best I could be. Now, I didn't imagine this Nina, but I imagined a Nina that was successful, happy, goal-oriented, and driven. And you can do the same thing. The next thing was I had to take inventory of those around me that were doing the things that I wanted to do. Now, this doesn't mean comparing yourself to other people, but honestly, there's nothing new under the sun. And you learn well from those who come before you. Let's say you want to do something like Joel Osteen and you want to be a big motivational speaker. That's your girl, right? Don't down yourself and say, oh my God, Joel Osteen is already doing it all. No, take your own spin of what it is he's doing. I'm not saying copy off the man, but if you know that you can offer great advice, great ideas, you can motivate people, you can get them to do the things that they want to do, help them see their life goals and plans, then plan for it. That was what I had to do with my weight loss. I looked at pictures of people that I admired, that I liked the way that their bodies were shaped. I started to investigate what kind of workouts they were doing, how they were doing it, what their meal plans were, what types of things they did on a daily, and I surrounded myself with those things. I almost mimicked what they did to be successful, but then it became my own journey along the way. I aligned myself to be great, but my definition of great. So even though I looked at other people, I took bits and pieces from different people, I got here because of my own work. But that doesn't mean you can't use somebody else's book to get information from. That doesn't mean you're copying, jocking a bite. You're looking at those that came from before you. We criticize those that study, that work hard, that do those types of things, but it's us who study and learn a lot that are able to build on what's already out there and become our own definition of success. So in order to change that self-image and become even better than where you are, sometimes you have to look at the successful ones around you and realize what they did to get to where they are. It can also be motivating to you and get you to the place where you're supposed to be. Not only did I look at people who were doing the things that I wanted to do, but I surrounded myself with like minds. Instead of hanging out, bumping their gums, talking about what they was gonna do, how they was gonna do it, but wasn't never seeing results, I hung around people that was getting results. You might have to move away from where you are. In order for me to go to graduate school, I had to move from Missouri to Oklahoma. Do you know how many people said to me, why would you go to Oklahoma? It's doctoral programs in psychology in Missouri. I needed to get myself uncomfortable. I had to get outside my element in order for me to be successful. I ain't know nobody in Oklahoma.
I don't need your